So I got 3 machines here. I got the Deus with the 9-inch X35 coil on it. I just got the coil last night. I got the Amphibio with the 7-inch concentric and the Simplex with the SP22 8-inch double D coil on it. And I'm going to test it on a really hard test here. There's a ring right there, just a brass ring with a nail, a couple nails down the barrel, and there's a nickel right there, and then another nail, and I'll put this nail right there too, right in the center. Makes it really tough. And I'll test them out on a couple other targets there that have been in the ground for a while. I'll turn the Amphibio on, and I'll hunt in 3-tone here. I was using beach mode with the SP24 coil on a similar test like this yesterday, and this is just stock program, gain at 89. You know, it's going to overload on me. You know, with the iron, with the Amphibio and the iron on the surface, it struggles with that iron on the surface. So I need to go down with my gain here. Usually in the dumps, you know, the dump sites with the square nails and stuff on it, I usually hunt, you know, 16. My gain is at 16 to 29. Matters how much nails are on the surface there. But I'll go down with my gain a lot, and I'll show you how far I have to go down with the gain on 3-tone. You know, keep on going down. Still an overload, right? I'll show you what I've had to deal with, right? Little bit of an overload there, but I'm getting close. I'm getting close. 28. $19, $18. Nickels usually ring about 35 or so on that Equinox or on that Amphibio. That ring right there, not hitting it. Just iron. And I'll try 4-tone. Just overload, 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 big time overload. 4-tone does not work in the relic dumps because there's just so many square nails. I just can't figure it out. It's even at gain 70. Watch, I'll go down to 40. Overload, right? All the coils do this. $27 gain. I have to go really super duper slow to be able to hit that now, right? It's reading in 17. Nickels usually read at 35. That ring, not hitting it. Now I'll go over this little bit of jewelry here. Jewelry 1.5 inches deep. It's been there for about 2 weeks. Not hitting it. Not hitting it at that gain right there, right? There's quite a bit of iron all in this area here. This is the war zone right here. Just not hitting it. You know, in 4-tone. 4-tone's deep, but I don't want to go deep here, right? I want some separation. You know, I want some iron separation. Here's a nickel at 5 inches deep. No numbers. I'm getting a fairly good tone there, but I want to hear a better tone than that. That's at 5 inches deep. So in the relic dumps, I'm going like right around 3 inches deep, 3 to 4 inches deep, you know. That's only how far I can go with this metal detector with the Amphibio, because I can't have my gain jacked up, right? If this had a bunch of iron above the surface here, this nickel at 5 inches deep, if this had a bunch of iron on the surface there, I cannot hit that coin because the iron's on the surface and I have to have my gain drop down all the way, you know, down in the 20s. So, you know, relic dumps with this machine here, you have to have your gain down low. Now I'll come over this dime over here that's been sitting here for about a year. Just barely hitting it, right? There we go. It's hitting it pretty good there. But there's iron down in the ground there, right? In the relic dumps, you know, could be iron deep and there could be iron shallow. Big piece of iron, little nails, square nails all over the surface there. is hitting it actually really good. This concentric coil does fairly good in the dumps there. The 5-inch double D coil does a lot better because I can crank the gain up a little bit more with that smaller coil there. I don't want to overpower the coil, right? You know, if you overpower the coil, you'll just get a bunch of overloads, and the overloads just disables this machine, right? It's still hitting that stuff, that nickel on the surface there. But I'll try beach mode here. Gains at 70. Not hitting that ring either, but I'm hitting that nickel pretty good. Here's a little bit of jewelry there. I'll try 3-tone on it. My gain's pretty low there. It's just an overload, right? Just overload. I've struggled with the Amphibio in the dumps because there's the nails on the surface, right? They just prohibit you from going up too high with your gain there, right? Now the Simplex is so easy, and I was in 20 kilohertz on the Amphibio there. I got the 277 with the SV22 coil in there. Park 2 mode jacked all the way up here. I would dig that target up all day long. This one right here, that ring, it's just not hitting that ring, right? It's just a little copper ring or brass ring. I'll put it in beach mode here. I'll show ya. Struggling on that ring again. Park 2 mode. It's not in that ring. This jewelry here, I'm in Park 2. Gain is all the way up. There's just a little piece of jewelry about 1.5 inches deep there. Just a little piece. Now I'll come over this nickel here. And there's a lot of iron in this hole here. There's just iron everywhere here. It's hitting it really good. So the Simplex was not overloading on all that iron on the surface there, right? So the Simplex, you know, you don't really have to make a lot of adjustments for it to just to perform anywhere, right? That's 5-inch deep nickel there, just hitting it big time all the way around. I'll go into Park 1 here. And nickels are scratchy on the Simplex because you can't adjust your tone breaks on it. I'll go over to Park 1 on that little bit of jewelry there. All my detectors struggle with this target here except for the Deus. Now I'll come over, iron everywhere, see? I'll actually turn the volume up just a little bit. It's kind of early still, so. Yeah, just 1 and 2 is a huge difference on the Simplex, man. It's just like, just blast your ears off at 1. There's that dime. And I'm in Park 1. I'll go to field here. Park 1. A lot of iron. But I'm getting 80s, 90s right there. And it sounds just like a coin. It is a dime at 3 inches with lots of iron. Park 2. Now I'll go to beach mode, right? Beach mode just hits it, man. Beach mode hits it all the way around, man. That's sickening. Now I'll go with this nickel, beach mode. That hits it really hard, man. I mean, big time. Now that jewelry on beach mode, still struggling on that jewelry, right? I'll go to all metal mode just to show you, you know, lots of iron around here. Lots of iron. I'll crank the Deus up with this new coil. X35 9-inch coil. And I'll show you my deep relic. My deep relic program here. My deep pitch program. I think I've got it pretty good. I'm almost there with this program. And I'll show you. Lift the coil up and I'll show you the settings. It's based on the deep program. That's the format for this program here. My discrimination is at 1.9 right now, but I'm going to lift that up a little bit. My sensitivity is at 96. Frequency changes, you know, for my sight. Iron volume, I'll turn on 1. Reactivity, 2.5. Audio response, 4. And my overload is on 1. And notch 0, discrimination, and it's in pitch tones, right? And I'll show you my silencers at -1, right? And I'll actually go up to, I'll show you what, hits both that ring and that nickel big time. This is the only detector that can hit that right there. And it hits it with, especially my elliptical high frequency coil hits that really good in high frequencies. There's that nickel. Right? Lots of iron around here. Lots of foil. That's that dime right there. And I'll show you. I'll go down, I'll lift my discrimination up to 10 or 9.1. I like 9.1. For some reason 9.1 has been working for me with this program here. $90, $90, $60, $07. It's hitting that dime really good. Now I'll come over to this nickel. I'll drop that discrimination down just a little bit here. Oh, 8. See, there's just no comparison, man. In the iron, this Deus is just deadly, man. It's just deadly. I'm telling you, the relic dumps are hard to dig in, man. The relic dumps are hard to dig in, and that's the reason why, because there's iron all throughout the whole soil. There's iron deep, there's iron shallow, there's iron right on the surface, square nails, you know, they're just little chunks of iron. And if you can't adjust your metal detector to where it doesn't disable your metal detector, just kind of fine tune it. If you cannot do that, you won't be able to dig in relic dumps, right? Relic dumps will be extremely hard to pick targets out. And the Deus seems to be doing that very, very well. It's taken me about 2 months to develop this program here. And it's based on the deep pitch, the deep program. There's another program that's similar to it that I'm developing, but it's off the full tone program. I don't like the full tones nearly as much. I really liked it the first month with the Deus because it was getting me a lot of coins and stuff in kind of moderate trashy areas. But once I switched over the pitch tones, man, it all changed from there. The way to go with the Deus is the pitch and digging the iron, because you can discriminate really easy on the full tones. You know, you get different tones for those targets if they're around iron, so they kind of sound like foil. You know, relic dumps, you know, it's mostly tones, and that's what the pitch tone is. That's pretty much what the Deus is. It's basically a tonal machine. You're digging up the tones, not the numbers. That's why you can take the metal detector off of the shaft there and put it in your pocket. It's not waterproof. You know, I've been struggling a lot with that lately. You know, I haven't really been able to go out too much when it's pouring down rain, because I've had to dial in the Deus a lot. You know, because I'm still learning the machine, and there's a lot of settings on it. And I can't have the remote control out in the rain, you know, when it's pouring down rain. But since I got this 9-inch X35 coil, I'm going to go take it to the dump. This is one coil that I have not had out to the dump yet, and I'm going to actually try the Goldfield program. I'll turn this on real quick, and I'll show you how this performs in Goldfield at lower frequencies. You know, the Gold program comes stock at like 14 kilohertz. I don't know why they did that, but I'll put the camera on my head here. Put the camera on my head, and I'll go to program 10. Goldfield right here. It's hitting all that iron, because the IAR is down to 0 or 1. All right, so I'll go and change that right now. Frequency 17, reactivity 2, disc IAR. I'll turn it up. You know, it's gonna hit on this iron. It's gonna hit on this iron right there. See that? It's gonna hit on the iron because it's all metal mode, right? Now I'll just reject that out. I'll just reject that out.